Hi,
Click.
bro. How you doing? You doing all
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm good.
Hello, hello.
You'll be
Ah, it's Femi.
glad
Yeah,
to
how
know
you
that
doing?
I'm not
Hi there,
wearing this.
Femi.
I'm not
I'm
wearing
all
this.
right. How you doing?
How you doing? All right, Femi?
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you. I'm all right. Thank
Long,
you.
long time no see.
Long time no see.
Good to see you, anyway. Really good to
Yeah,
see
thank
you.
you. I miss it too. I miss it too. It's just I've been everywhere.
It wasn't because Palace thumped Chelsea, was it? As if, as if.
No, no,
No, I think
no,
we had
no,
a
no.
draw though, didn't we? We did draw. The two
Yeah, we
teams
had a
drew,
draw. Is it
so
2-2
that
or
was.
1-1? I thought it was 1-1. 2-2, yeah.
I
2-2.
think it. I can't remember, to be honest, but for Palace, that was a good result. Let's face it.
It was a very good result. Yeah, very good
It
result.
was.
yeah,
So we'll talk about football in due course, I suspect.
we will do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Good to see everyone. So welcome to the Alien Spaceship with myself, Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cuz.
And me, Trevor Gear, and he calls me bruv.
And me, Femi Madariola, and he called me Safemo.
Yes. So, Cuz, you posted something on the group about 70 thought-provoking questions. Like
Yeah,
70
thought.
thought.
Yeah, I had a look at those, and okay, we can start off with that because it's quite an interesting thing. I mean, let me just say, when I looked at these questions, it
Yeah,
says if you approach this list with an open heart, there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to give and receive some eye-opening answers. Um, Goes on to say, before diving into this, make sure you're inspired to go there or to go here.
yeah.
Make sure the people you're with seem excited to answer the questions too.
Right,
I don't
right.
think you're going to be excited. The best results will most likely come from three people, two or three people who really want to hear and understand each other. If you approach this experiment through the lens of curiosity and wonder, you will really be able to tap into the true purpose of these questions. If things get intense, just remind yourself that you're there to understand, support, and be seen as well. So that kind of gives you a little bit of background to these
Yeah,
thought-provoking questions. And in many ways, it's probably better to have this kind of discussion with questions in a more personal environment, perhaps not broadcasting it on a on a podcast. Because, and in a way, this is the first question I would like to ask you both, and myself for that matter. Do we ever really get to know another person? And I mean, that's a big question, but I would also apply it to people in relationships, in marriage. I mean, I was married for a long time. But do you think we ever really get to know somebody? Because as with some of these questions, and I'm not going to ask all of them by any means, we can do a few each week perhaps, but it asks some personal stuff about us. I mean, for example, one question is, are we honest? Am I honest? Now, I guess most of us would say, yes, I'm honest. But would we be realistically honest enough to say, yeah, but there are times perhaps I'm not honest? And maybe we can all think of examples where, I don't know, if someone close to us says, do I look nice in this? We might think, well, I better not say no. I could get in a bit of bother. And I don't want to upset the person's feelings. So you say, yeah, you look okay. When actually, maybe that wasn't the most honest answer. And maybe that's a bit more justifiable. But are there times when we're not as honest as we would like other people to think we are? So these questions sort of delve a bit into us, into something about ourselves. And obviously, if either of you or I don't want to answer a particular question, think we are. So these questions sort of delve a bit into us, into something about ourselves. And obviously, if either of you or I don't want to answer a particular question, then you just sort of take the Fifth Amendment, I think it is, and say, I'm taking the fifth. I'm not going to, I'm not going to answer. I mean, for example, like last week, if I'd have asked you, why the hell are you wearing that jacket? You may have said, look, I can't answer that. I'm taking the Fifth Amendment. At
Was
least to
that
see
the
you're not
jacket you
wearing.
spoke about? Was that the jacket you spoke about?
It's not the one he's got on today. No,
Oh, he's got another one today.
I didn't hear you then, bruv. What did you speak? I didn't hear you speak.
I would have been quite happy to answer that.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, of course you would. But that's the first question. I mean, before I ask any of the questions on this list, perhaps you can both let me have your thoughts. Do we ever, thinking in our deeper innermost self as well, I mean, it is said we have three sides. Human beings have three sides. There's a public self, the bits we like other people to know about us. The private self, where maybe in a relationship or in marriage or other parts of our life, we wouldn't necessarily broadcast. And some would say most of us or all of us have a secret self, things that, if you like, only we know about ourselves, which we may not even share in a close relationship with somebody. So that's my first question to you both. Do we ever really get to know somebody, whoever they are?
To be honest,
Femi, what do you think?
very honest, that question, you can never, ever get to know somebody. Because as human beings, we change every day. We are prone to change. Things we hear around us, things we see, tend us to sometimes go into, what do I put it now? Safety mode sometimes. Do you know what I mean? It tends to make us go into safety modes because something's happened to somebody. We tend to learn from it and say, oh, if that's happened to this, if this is what he's done, or if this is what he say, and this has happened to him, I better not say it if I'm faced with the same situation next time. So just like, I don't want to put God into it now, just like because they say we are the likeness of God. The fact that we cannot know God completely, we tend to learn more about God every day. So also we tend to learn about people every day. And people being what we are, should I say we are dynamic. We change every day. We change through things we see, through things we hear, things we see on social media, and so many things. Things that happen to our family members tend to change us. So we tend to go into a secret move sometimes. Sometimes, just like you said, there's a public side of us, there's a private side of us, and there's the secret side. That's just the way it is. So there's no way you can know me completely. Even when you live with me in the same house, it's not possible. You only get to know the part I want you to know. I can be honest to a certain extent, but there are things I want to keep to myself. Say, I'm not going to say these out to anyone. No one's going to know these. I have my reasons for wanting to do that. But it's not that what I do not divulge to you, Trevor, I might divulge to Emmy. Do you get it? Maybe because
of course I do, yeah. It depends on the friendship, doesn't it?
It depends on the friendship and the level of understanding we have with one another. So that's just how it is. You can never know someone completely. And people even tend to change sometimes. Somebody you think, oh, I trust this guy, and you've not seen him for a long time. You don't know what was he into now. How do I even know if I can trust this guy? So it's just how we are built as human beings. You cannot know. We cannot know. Even sometimes we can't even trust ourselves. I can't trust myself that if something like this happened, what would I have done? Would I have done this or that? I don't trust myself. So it's just like that. It's a very good question. I love it.
Do you think do you think, Femi, that in a close relationship with somebody, do you think that other person gets to know us better, say, or can they ever really get to know us even though we may be married to them, they may be our life partner, are we still saying, yeah, even they don't know everything about me? They can't say they know me. Would you say it applies to them?
Some people